Good evening, Dr. Council and fellow classmates. My name is Benazir Serna, and today I'll be presenting an informative speech on the life cycle of a star. The night sky is full of mysteries. Galileo Galilei was the first of many astronomers to look up at the sky and ask questions and try to find answers. Questions such as where do stars come from have inspired many types of research in the astronomical field. Today I'll be walking you through the life cycle of a star and its 7 main stages. I will also be using a few visuals throughout this presentation. The first stage starts out with a giant gas cloud composed of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and dust. Christine Helling, a graduate of the University of St. Andrews, has found that the dust and these gases evolve separately in the pre-planetary disk. This evolution leads us to the formation of a protostar. While these two components evolve separately right here in this pre-planetary disk, they are crucial in this stage. Rin Yamada, a researcher in the Department of Physics at Nagoya University, argues that the cloud-to-cloud collision is an essential process in this stage. The larger the amount of dust particles bumping into each other, the greater the mass of the protostar. In monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society, Thomas Peterkin writes about the importance the varying sizes of stars play in our galaxy. Such factors can be predictors of a past star's formation, and its effects is a reflection of the evolution of the larger galaxy's physical properties over an extended period of time. Moving on to the T-Tauri phase, also known as the pre-main sequence phase, this is where disks start to form right around the center. These disks are made of dust that is constantly bumping into each other and is generating energy. In an effort to better understand the formation of stars, the Research Institute of Physics at the Southern Federal University has conducted numerical studies to replicate the dust's interaction. They observed 2 types of dust, submicron-sized dust and grown dust. The research concluded that the process of small to grown dust conversion speeds up after the pre-planetary disk is formed and can accumulate up to several hundred Earth masses. Main sequence stars, also known as dwarf stars, are the 5th stage in the evolution of a star. As the dust evolves, so do the gases that make up the star. According to Coralie Nettles, a writer for Study.com, a main sequence star is any star that has a hot, dense core as a result of hydrogen fusing into helium in order to produce energy. A few examples of dwarf stars are as follows: the yellow dwarf, red dwarf, white dwarf, and brown dwarf. The red dwarfs are low-mass main sequence stars. Yellow dwarfs are main sequence stars with a similar mass to that of the Sun. White dwarfs are the remnants of non-giant stars. They eventually become black dwarfs, but rarely make it to this stage, as this phase can last for up to a billion years. And lastly, brown dwarfs. They are stars that made it to the protostar stage, but did not have enough hydrogen to keep it going. This main sequence star will eventually turn into a red giant, as the hydrogen that was turned into helium will collapse in on itself and cause the star to expand. As the star expands, it fuses with other elements such as carbon and nitrogen to form an iron core. It will also fuse with the other elements such as hydrogen, helium, carbon, neon, oxygen, silicon, and sulfur. The formation of these heavier elements generates a lot of energy, and this leads us to the final stage of a star's evolution, the supernova. The supernova explosion comes from stars that have over 5 times our sun's mass. Stars of that high of a mass have an extraordinary last hurrah and typically leave behind a black hole. In this diagram, you will see that the larger the mass, the larger the explosion. The bigger and more destructive the supernova will be, the larger the mass of the star. Thank you for your time.